Let me tell you, some days you just know trouble's coming for you the second you roll out of bed. That was me. That Tuesday, flying out of Kansas City. Just another work trip, right? Except this time, I'm thinking, maybe, just maybe, today's the day the universe decides to test me for real. I'm Ruth Avery, federal judge, proud daughter of a man who taught me to hold my head high no matter what anyone thinks they know about me. Trust me, by the end of this flight, even I was questioning how much one person's supposed to take. So, picture this. It's early, I'm tired, I've got a speech to give in D.C., and I'm dressed to the nines. I've flown this route 100 times, first class, seat 2C, paid for fair and square. But the moment I step onto that plane, I get that feeling. The one that says, "Brace yourself, Ruth." There's this flight attendant, Brady, with the perfect hair and a smile as fake as the syrup on airline pancakes. He checks my ticket like he's the TSA, squinting, flipping it, finally nodding at the first-class cabin. "First class is to the left, ma'am." Like maybe I got lost on my way up the aisle. I watch him wave through two white passengers, barely looking at their tickets. Then another black guy shows up. Brady checks his pass 3 times, eyes him like he's about to pull a magic trick. I let it slide. Years of experience, you know? Pick your battles. But it still stings every time. I sit down, try to focus. Pretend not to notice Brady giving everyone else sparkling water and a smile while he skips me completely. I finally ask for a glass of water, and he shoots back, "We'll be serving after takeoff, ma'am." Next thing I know, he plunks a plastic cup of lukewarm water on my tray. No ice, no lemon, just enough to remind me where he thinks I belong. But I keep my cool. My dad always said, "Don't let 'em see you sweat, Ruthie." I just wanted to get to D.C., give my speech, go home. But about an hour in, I get up to use the restroom. The first-class restroom, mind you, the one I paid for. Brady blocks my path, says, "First-class lavatory is for first-class passengers only." I tell him, "I am first class, 2C right there." He wants to see my ticket again. I tell him it's at my seat, but he doesn't budge. That's when he leans in, lowers his voice, and says, "Why don't you use the ones in economy? Your kind's usually back there anyway." Now look, I've had people question me before, but this was different. He put his hand on my shoulder, actually turned me around, and tried to shove me down the aisle. There it was, right out in the open. The white CEO across the aisle, William Holt, stood up, phone in hand, recording. "You can't do that. She belongs here." Brady snaps back, "Sir, return to your seat," acting like he's the victim now. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You just put your hands on a federal judge, and you're going to regret that." I went back to my seat, my hands shaking, but my mind racing. You know that moment when you're done being polite, and you know it's time to fight back? I grabbed my phone, broke the rules, and called Judge Terrence White, my friend, my boss, and the man who makes things happen in our circuit. "Terrence, it's Ruth. I need help. Something just went down on this plane." Right then, I saw the new flight attendant, Mia, shoot me a worried look. Another woman, Dr. Parker from Economy, slipped me her card. I saw everything. I'll be your witness. Sometimes, you never know who's got your back until the storm hits. A few minutes later, the captain's voice came over the intercom. "We're making an unscheduled landing in Louisville. Please remain seated." Brady's face lost all color. He knew the game was up. We landed, didn't even taxi to the terminal, just stopped near a line of police cars and a black government SUV. Out come an airline exec, an FAA officer, and a straight-faced FBI agent. They asked for me, Brady, the senior attendant, and a handful of witnesses. They split us up, took our statements. Holt played the video from his phone. Dr. Parker backed me up word for word. Mia, nervous as could be, finally admitted she'd seen Brady do this before. I told my story as calm as I could, but you could hear the edge in my voice. 15 years on the bench, and nothing ever stung like being shoved like I didn't belong. Turns out, complaints had stacked up against Brady for months, maybe years, all buried by his supervisor. The airline had no choice. Brady and his boss were fired on the spot. The CEO called me, offered every apology in the book. Free flights, a public statement, the works. But I didn't want perks. I told him, "This isn't about me. It's about every person who ever got treated like they were less." The video went viral. Justice at 30,000 feet was everywhere. Holt's company dropped the airline, Dr. Parker's hospital group organized a boycott, and the airline scrambled to roll out real changes, bias training, real reporting, actual consequences. Months later, I was standing on stage in front of a room full of airline execs, telling them, "You want to fix this? Don't wait for another Ruth to go through hell just to get a seat she paid for. Change starts with what you do when no one's watching." Looking back, I wish it hadn't happened, but I'm grateful for every person who stood up, every stranger who said, "No more." Because when you've been knocked down enough, there comes a day when you stop getting back up for yourself, and you do it for everyone who's still waiting for someone to speak up. So here's my question for you. If you saw someone getting pushed around for no good reason, would you say something? Have you ever been in my shoes, biting your tongue, wishing someone, anyone, would have your back? Drop your stories in the comments. Tell me where you stand, what you'd do, what you wish you'd done. Because this isn't just my story. It's all of ours. And it's time we stop letting people like Brady decide who gets to feel like they belong. If you felt something listening to this, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe your voice is the one that finally makes a difference. You never know until you try.